intonation is an important part of English, and you definitely do need to practice it if you want to sound more like a native English speaker. A great way to practice your intonation is just by... Hey guys, how's your day going? My name is Catelyn, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on English intonation. Ooh, intonation, it sounds hard. Well, actually, you're in luck, it's not. English intonation is just how our voice rises in pitch and falls in pitch. It's something that all native English speakers do without even thinking. Some examples of intonation are, if maybe I were to ask a question, my voice would go up a little bit. Would you like a coffee? And if I were to make a statement, then my voice would go down at the end. No, I'd like tea. Getting intonation right can be hard, especially for English learners whose mother tongue doesn't have intonation like English does, like Mandarin Chinese. But there's no need to worry. Today I'm going to teach you guys the times where intonation is important and how to do it correctly. So let's get down to business. The first situation that our intonation is important in is when we're asking questions. So when we're asking yes or no questions, then most often we'll use a rising intonation. So at the end of the question, our voice will rise in pitch. For example, are you thirsty? Would you like a coffee? But for most other questions, we use a falling intonation, especially for the 5W questions, the who, what, when, where, and why. So for these types of questions, our pitch will fall at the end. For example, where are you going? Whose book is that? For either or questions, on the first option, our voice will rise in pitch, and then on the second option, our voice will fall in pitch. For example, would you like a coffee or a tea? Do you like cats or dogs? And the last type of question, a tag question. So tag questions are when you make a statement and then you follow that up with a tag which asks for confirmation. That tag might be something like, right, or don't you think, or isn't it? For these types of questions, that last tag part is always said in a rising intonation. For example, you're an English student, right? Or the weather was beautiful today, don't you think? When we make statements though, things are a little bit different. For most statements, we use a falling intonation. So our pitch will fall at the end of every single sentence.
Well, we were warned it was coming and it delivered. A polar blast dumping snow from our ski fields to the state's central west. As temperatures plunged, the white stuff kept falling and there's no sign it will stop anytime soon.
This is the most common intonation pattern in English, so really try and master this one. However, although most statements follow this falling intonation pattern, when we have a pause, almost like a comma in a sentence, then we need to say the first part of that sentence with a rising intonation, and then the second part on the falling intonation. The first part, which ends on a rising intonation, lets the other person know that we're not finished speaking yet.
Well, we were warned it was coming and it delivered. A polar blast dumping snow from our ski fields to the state's central west.
We can also use intonation to convey emotions and feeling. If we wanted to convey an energetic emotion, maybe something like excitement or happiness or surprise, then we would use a rising intonation. For example, where did you get that hat? I love it. Really? Thanks. But if we wanted to convey something more negative, maybe like disgust or anger, then we'd often use a falling intonation. Where did you get that hat? You look ridiculous. No, I don't. Can you see, even though that's the same sentence as before, with a falling intonation, it completely changes the feeling of the sentence. If we wanted to convey confusion, suspicion, or maybe if you're guilty, then we often use a rising intonation. Huh? Did you eat my cookie? No. And if we're being sarcastic, saying something that we don't really mean, then we'll really overdo that falling intonation. Do you like my hat? Yeah, it looks great. But that's all that I have for today's video. Intonation is an important part of English, And you definitely do need to practice it if you want to sound more like a native English speaker. A great way to practice your intonation is just by imitating other native English speakers. Listen to the way that they speak and just try and copy it. The more you practice and the more you listen, the better you'll get. I didn't mention it earlier, but this was a viewer requested video. So if there is a video that you would like to see me talk about on my channel, please just leave those ideas down in the comments below or send them to me on my Instagram and Facebook. If you enjoyed the video, also don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye!